Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how to go from an AI prompt like this to a cool storyline interaction like this. So to do this, we're going to use V0. And I'm just going to paste in my prompt here. And you can see I'm just asking it to build an FAQ, accordion interaction, and only use HTML and vanilla JavaScript. It can do external libraries, and you can use external libraries in Storyline, but it just complicates things. We're also going to set a storyline variable each time a tab is clicked. And I'm going to tell it to use these particular colors, and it's just a screenshot of some colors that I grabbed from the interwebs. So I'll hit start, and it'll do its magic. I'm going to speed up the video a bit for you. And we can see it's writing out all our HTML and JavaScript code here. And then when it's done, we'll be able to actually preview it right here in V0. So I can click on each of these. Pretty cool. It's working. But I think it should use more of the colors from the palette. So it's going to be thinking again. And it's going to rewrite the code. It's nice because it tells you on the side what it's doing, and when it's done, it tells you what it did. Oh, so this looks cool, but I can see there's a problem. This is actually a React file. It ignored my instructions to use plain JavaScript, so I'm going to remind it again. It's kind of funny because it told me that I'm right. It forgot to use plain JavaScript. So it's rewriting this again in the plain JavaScript with the new colors. And now we can play with it. Oh yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. But I think we could make this a bit snazzier. So I'm going to ask it to spice it up a bit by adding fireworks, so that when all the tabs have been clicked, there'll be a firework explosion. And again, I reminded it to use plain JavaScript. Alright, so let's see how it did. Let me go through, and I'm going to click each one of these tabs. Wow, looky there. That is pretty cool. So one thing I want to check is, let's make sure that it's setting that storyline variable. So if I scroll down into the code, I can see in the JavaScript. Yeah, right here, I can see that it's setting it to true. Oh, but it's also setting it to false once it's closed. In my case, I want it to stay true just to indicate that the content was viewed in storyline. So I'm going to have it update that. So I'll just give it another prompt and tell it that we don't want to set it to false when it's closed. And let's take a look at the JavaScript to make sure that it did make the change. Yep. Now, a lot of times you wouldn't need to actually look at the script, but because it's not in Storyline yet for me to test it, I just wanted to double check. So let's make sure the fireworks still work. Boom, there they are. Alright, so now I'm looking at the code again, and I'm just going to download that code. It's going to download the index.html file, and I'll just put it in a folder, and then I can import the folder into Storyline. So here we are in Storyline, and I've already done a little legwork here. Didn't want to bore you with these details, but you can see I set up a bunch of variables to track each tab, and another one to count how many tabs have been visited. I created some triggers to disable the next button, and then each time one of those tab variables changes, I increment the tab visited number. And then finally, when the tab visited is equal to 5, then I'm going to enable the next button. This is just an example, and I put it all on the screen there as well. So I'm going to import the folder, and all that has inside of it is that index.html. And we'll pull it down a bit so that you can see the variables at the top and our testing. And now I'll publish this to SCORM. And then in Review My eLearning, I'm going to upload the zip file so I can test it out in Review My eLearning. So it loads up. There's my FAQ accordion, and you can see that as I click each one of these, the variable is changing. I skipped one, number 3 there. And you can see the visited number is incrementing each time. So now, when I click the last one, there's our fireworks. And visited equals 5, so the next button is enabled now. I'm going to go ahead and make a comment to the developer. That's me. Tell them that they did an awesome job on this. Thanks, and let me know what kind of things you could build with AI and Storyline.